Howdy folks, welcome to the 3D Sapiens Road Show. I am Dan Davis, your host. Today we are going to be doing the final part, Part C, claro que sí, We're going to be doing Part C of the Introduction to the Recreation Program because it needed to be here at the campground, but right after I shot the first couple parts at the nest, which needed to be at the nest, if you've seen them, for various reasons, it just rained and snowed for weeks. So, but finally the last couple of weeks I've been able to get up here and clean up and get everything ready to go. So I'm in the recreation mode. I haven't even shaved. What I'm going to do is show you where the equipment is stored that I described in the first two parts down at the nest. I showed which parts went in the car, which parts sometimes went in the car, sometimes not, and the things that stayed in storage and so on. And so what I'm going to do right now is show you the various things where they're stored at and then give you a little tour. I've got a couple things set up here to do. And I will finish with a little rappelling. Okay, so just to show you that there are some rocks around here that will actually work. Okay, so first of all, let's get over to the car. I was set up here with my stuff. Been busy cleaning, burning, so on. Okay, so we'll start at the front. The saddle and the rappelling rope, which saddle I have on, the rappelling rope is already tied up. It goes in that backpack right there. This backpack is the toy backpack, which has some parts in it that I took out, and I'll show you down there in a moment. So let's get that handy. Something else here is Frisbee, which, and extra bees. What do we got important? More Uno cards, hacky sack, BBs, and socks. Dennis's socks, I believe, for gravity. One of those, like 2 acres of trampoline kind of places. I love going there too. It's a great workout, by the way. Excellent workout. It's fun and so on. Uno cards we want accessible because if we go in the restaurant, we want to play and so on. The thing in the bag is a scope for the BB gun, which I seldom use. And that's about it on this front. So, Frisbee, which playing alone kind of sucks. Although you could do target, you could set up a whole mini golf, or golf, what's it called? Frisbee golf course if you wanted to, with all the trees around here, targets and whatnot. Anyway, okay, so back here, so the skateboard's right here. I'm not going to bother getting that out. This is the goal pen, penning. And the thing I wanted to show you, okay, so up here there's actually a stream over that way, about probably 200-300 yards, but it's very, very seasonal. So I may go check that out at some point. But the other, whoa, get off, down, good bag, stay. So the other thing you can do with this, this is just a plastic one. I gotta change hands here quick. The other good thing for this is, like you just saw the Frisbee, right? Well, if you ever run into a Bigfoot up here, it's perfect for a Bigfoot, so it's like, hey, Harry, catch! Ugh! Look at that. Bonk. Yeah, it works pretty good. Okay, anyway. Out of the way. Okay, now the other two things that I'm going to talk about today are in this bag right here, which is an old chair bag. There's two things in here. One is the BB gun, and one is a golf club. And I'll show you what this is all about here in a minute. But I'm going to go pause for a moment and take this stuff down and set up, and I'll show you something else here in a minute. Time out. Pause. Okay, I'm back. Alright, so in the little backpack, aside from more Uno cards and a deck of poker kind of cards, paper airplanes, which I'll be doing a little thing where I'll show you what I know how to do with those, because those can be fun. Kids love them. I love them. I like playing with them. I'm 54, so whatever, man. I'll show you how stages of those. But in here there's drawing paper, coloring paper kind of thing. Anything that can pack up like this. There's also in this bag, I believe, is like one of those chess sets slash backgammon slash whatever. Okay, so another thing over here that came out of that bag, BB gun and mini golf equipment. You'll notice this. These are going to be used to make various kinds of cups for the golf course. But I'm not quite ready for that yet today because I've still been kind of clearing trails and I don't think the balls will roll on them very well. Over here I could do it, and I might if I have time, but where it's hard packed like this, the ball will roll very, very well. But there's natural things, part of the landscape here, that can be very useful. And I'll show you what I mean about that. Okay, BB gun targets, aside from things like paper plates, these I got completely free from there. And there's a bunch of them. I'll show you this here in a minute because they're set up. And then in a separate segment, I'm actually going to do a little segment on shooting the targets with other targets that I've arranged. Hey, that one flew pretty good. Check it out. And then the communist. Whoa. Anyway, where was I at? Oh, targets. Okay, so I've got those set up, but I'm going to do a whole separate segment on that. In the meantime, let's wander down here. Okay, so what we have down here, the BB gun, which I said I will talk about here in a minute, the putter, ball. Here's a little map of this place, which actually kind of goes like that. It's a night, well, whatever. I won't try to decipher that for you right now, but trust me, I've already planned how to do this golf course. And one of the things you can do is, see that? Right here is an instant, already made cup. So, if I can do this properly, and give me a minute to set this up. Okay, so I'm nobody's golfer, but I like playing mini golf. It's fun, and I actually got into golf in Pakistan, which I'll be talking about in my next book, 3D Life in Poetry and Prose, because it was kind of interesting. But anyway, so for here, notice the rock, that could be a cup right there. So if your ball ends up over here, whoa, too hard. But you can see all kinds of possibilities, because you could, if you're good at this, you could bank it off rocks and all kinds of stuff. But the idea, I did it a little too hard. Let me see if I can do this right now. Whoa, no. I would have a score of, I don't know, 200 or something. But yay, there we go. So, something like that. Okay, so the other thing was, like I said, the BB gun. And over here you'll see, some of the targets I have set up, starting with very, very simple. And these are ranged away from where I'm going to be sitting, which is going to be over about right, that log right there, kind of as a footstool. Okay, so this would be the farthest one. And I'm not just going to aim at the bottle itself, but like at the middle where the logo is. For something a little closer, which you're not just necessarily aiming at the bottle, but at the end of it. The red is the actual target. A couple smaller bottles. Okay, and then meanwhile, over here, this thing seems to have fallen out. The aliens. The aliens. Where did they go? Alright, there we go. Oh! Yeah, see, things never work right. Okay. So, there's a variety of targets. Just your basic targets. And then for fun. Because they may not come in peace, despite what they say with the fingers there and everything. The top couple, I'm not really into shooting critters. I've only shot a couple things in my life, and I still remember them. I don't like doing it. So, I'm not into shooting critters. However, in a survival situation, the BB gun could actually be a good way to get food. So it's a good thing to practice on, I suppose. Plus, you can get your BBs back if you dig them out of the carcass. Anyway, okay, so that's the BB gun range, and I will be doing that here in a bit, but I want to wrap up this segment with some getting down with the rope. Okay, here's the Frisbee. Now, I'm walking this way. I'll show you what I meant about the trail. See, this is fairly new trail here. You can see over there, it's really packed down. Over here, I've just recently kind of really established the trail, so it's kind of fluffed up and whatever. And the ball would not roll terribly well here, but it's going to go down this slope, because this is the longest, steepest slope, and so on. Okay, but you can see, it's still a mess. I taped a section earlier today where I started clearing off this boulder, and I still haven't finished, obviously. But this takes time. Okay, so wandering over, where are we going? Through all the brush. Okay, here we go. So, here's this rope. You'll notice the slack in it. By the time you wrap it around a couple trees, it doesn't take much to stop something. So I just hooked it over one of the broken branches, looped it over this tree so it stayed up high, looped it around this other tree, and then the rock I'm going to be going down is right here. And in case you're wondering on the strength of this thing, as long as we're here, I wanted to point something out. I don't know, a couple months ago or whatever, when I was cutting down, let me find the stump, where is it? I was cutting down, where did it go? Right here somewhere. One of the big ones. I think it was that one. Anyway, so if you'll notice, it's cut all the way through. The thing I cut all the way through the thing, and it would not fall. I pushed on it, eventually kind of fell. It kind of slid down the thing, and then when it fell off, it landed up against this stupid tree. And it was jammed. And these things weigh a ton. These things, probably a ton. So anyway, so I got the rope out, tied onto it, around a tree, to the Subaru, and managed to pull it around. Then it fell up against that tree, and then I had to pull it down again. Very, very uncooperative log, this one. Anyway, okay, so the ropes are very, very strong. So, the place where we're going is right here, and I'm just going to set up the camera somewhere around about, actually, let me go down here so you can see better. Okay, now let's see, will that work? Is we in frame enough? I don't think so. Let me back off a bit. Okay, so probably something like that, I'm thinking. Oh, out of the tree. What do you think? Sounds good? Yeah. Yep. Okay, so it's just a boulder, so as I've explained, if you haven't seen any more of these clips or whatever, I've got several videos now that I've done at Poison Switch on the Fresno River just below Oakhurst, and also at Eastman Lake, which is east of Chowchilla, east of Chowchilla, northwest of Fresno. Anyway, so I've got a bunch of rappelling videos, but on this one I just wanted to show you, because keep in mind, we're still at the campsite. We just came around the boulder. You can't see anything, but we're still at the campsite. So the whole point of all this stuff is that you can pack a lot of fun in not a lot of space. So anyway, but this is, as I said in the rappelling videos, the introductory ones, I start people on something small like this. That way they're not panicking. It's something they can walk down practically, jump off of or whatever. And then as they get used to this, we go up bigger and bigger and bigger until they're ready to do, ideally, extreme, what I call extreme rappelling, the way I do it with this kind of carabiner, ideally, the way I do this, you ought to be able to take off from a cliff that's like 100 feet and go boom, 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 in like 2 or 3 jumps, and you should be down. And when you do that, you're approaching free fall, which gets really fun. And when you can do cliffs like that, big, no problem, and you're having fun and you're just loving it, then you're ready for skydiving or paragliding or whatever, you know, that kind of stuff if you're afraid of heights or whatnot. Anyway, so let me go tie in here. Just using these little garden gloves because it's not much, but normally you want leather gloves because this line will heat up. But so here I am, just right here on the campground, right here in the campsite. And here we go. Yeehaw. Something like that. Alright folks, that's it for me. Thanks for tuning in. And lots more stuff coming up. Like I said, the BB gun thing, I believe, is next. We still have about an hour's worth of light. So, thanks for tuning in. Have a great day, and hope you see the next one. Adios.